What if there's a man richer than the Prince of Saudi Arabia, and yet most people don't even know how he truly lives? This isn't just another billionaire story. This is about a sheikh so wealthy, he once spent $2 million on strawberries. That's not a joke. That was just his breakfast. In the next few minutes, you're going to enter a world so extreme, even billionaires would be shocked. We're talking about a man who owns a palace with over 1,000 rooms, his own private zoo, and toilets made of solid gold. Now stop for a second. If you've ever wondered what limitless wealth actually looks like, not just big yachts and private jets, but a life where money has zero meaning, this is it. But this isn't just about money. It's about power, mystery, and a lifestyle that blurs the line between reality and fantasy. And trust me, by the end of this video, we'll reveal one shocking secret about this sheikh that could completely change how you see global power, and who's really pulling the strings behind the scenes. This isn't fiction. This is the real life of a trillionaire you've likely never heard this much about. Until now. Let's dive in. This man doesn't just live in luxury, he creates it from the ground up. His personal palace isn't just a home, it's a kingdom. A private estate so massive, it reportedly spans over 1.5 million square feet. That's not a hotel. That's one private residence, a space bigger than most international airports, just for one family. But here's the thing. For him, wealth was never about price tags. Growing up in royal circles, money was normal. The true measure of wealth, presence, power, and control. From an early age, he wasn't taught to chase luxury. He was taught to command it. Inside his palace, there's a private zoo. Yes, a real zoo, with lions, tigers, and the rare Arabian oryx, an animal so protected it's almost never seen in the wild. But for him, it roams just a few feet from his golden balcony. And speaking of gold, his dining tables? Covered in 24-karat gold plating. His chefs? Flown in daily from 5 different countries to prepare every meal. Nothing is ordinary. Everything is elite. Let's talk breakfast. While most of us pour cereal or grab a coffee on the way to work, this sheikh sits under hand-cut crystal chandeliers, enjoying a bowl of strawberries that are imported daily, hand-picked from only the best farms in Japan and France. The cost? Over $2 million per year, just for strawberries. And then there's the bathrooms. Not marble, not tile. We're talking about spaces so custom-built, so drenched in gold, perfume sprayers, and custom lighting. They're rumored to cost more than most people's entire homes. One insider joked, "You don't go to the bathroom there, you experience it." But this insane level of wealth? It doesn't stop at home, it travels. Wherever he goes, whether it's a desert rally or a private event in Europe, the luxury follows. Private jets, armored convoys, staff who arrive days in advance just to make sure everything is perfect before he even steps off the plane. Because the truth is, the world has limits. But his wealth doesn't. So here's the big question. What kind of world follows him when he steps outside the palace gates? Let's take a look. Outside his palace, the world becomes his playground, and he plays bigger than anyone else. Let's start with his yachts. These aren't boats. They're floating cities, stretching over 500 feet with multiple helipads, private cinemas, and swimming pools that adjust temperature with the weather. Each one is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And yes, he owns multiple. His cars? Never driven twice. Each one is a custom build, delivered with a single-use guarantee. That means once it hits the road, it's retired. Then, a new one takes its place. Rolls-Royces, Bugattis, Lamborghinis, all with details most people have never even seen, like diamond-studded interiors and leather from endangered animals. And his jet? It's not just a plane, it's a flying palace. A custom Boeing 747 with a throne room, a spa, and a ceiling layered in pure gold. Some countries' military aircraft aren't as advanced. And when he lands, he doesn't call for a rental. He ships his entire fleet of vehicles, along with a full kitchen and personal chef from Dubai. Just imagine that. Most people pack a suitcase. He packs an empire. In Paris, he once bought out an entire floor of a 5-star hotel, just to ensure privacy for one night. In Monaco, he paid $1.2 million just to park his yacht for a week. That's not a vacation. That's command of space. But behind all this shine, there's something even bigger. Power. Real power. Because this sheikh doesn't just spend money, he controls entire industries, from energy to construction, from ports to private defense companies. His money moves nations, not just markets. And suddenly the question isn't, how rich is he? It's, what kind of empire does a trillionaire actually run? Let's go deeper. By now, you've seen the gold, the jets, the yachts. But here's the real story. This sheikh isn't just royalty. He's a business mastermind, reshaping not just his country, but the entire Middle East and beyond. He's not spending money to show off. He's investing it, strategically, and on a scale that's hard to imagine. Every diamond-studded hallway, every record-breaking skyscraper, every luxury airport lounge, it all connects to something bigger, a vision. A vision to make his country the center of the modern world. He played a major role in building Emirates Airlines, now one of the most recognized carriers on the planet. He backed the creation of the Burj Al Arab, the sail-shaped hotel that became a symbol of luxury. He pushed policies that turned Dubai into one of the world's most powerful financial hubs. He oversees multi-billion-dollar projects across oil, tourism, technology, and global finance. If money touches the Gulf, chances are he had something to do with it. Here's the wild part. Dubai's rise didn't just happen. It wasn't luck. It wasn't tourism. It was a plan. Engineered by this sheikh, brick by brick, deal by deal, law by law. The hotels, the tech parks, the artificial islands, they weren't just dreams. They were blueprints. And while many think of companies and CEOs, here's the twist. Some of Dubai's biggest corporations don't answer to corporate boards. They answer directly to him. That's how deep his influence goes. It's not about shares. It's about control. And it doesn't stop at the borders of the UAE. His investments are in Africa, Asia, Europe, and America. He's part of international banking deals, space tech, and even startup ecosystems in Silicon Valley. His reach is global, but you rarely see his name in the headlines. Why? Because when money moves through him, it moves quietly. But it moves big. And when he moves it, governments listen. That's true power. Power without needing to win elections. Power without giving speeches. Power built on results, not titles. So here's the question. How does a man like this influence the world without ever running for office? That answer is coming next. While the world watches flashy billionaires post selfies and launch rockets, this man moves in silence. But behind closed doors, he signs deals that shape entire economies, and most of us never even know it happened. We're talking about influence so deep, so quiet, that by the time the world notices, it's already too late to catch up. He holds powerful partnerships with global oil giants, Silicon Valley tech firms, and British real estate empires. His wealth isn't just tied to one industry, it touches everything. Want a real example? In Knightsbridge, London, one of the richest areas in the UK, an entire block of buildings worth over $500 million was quietly bought through a holding group tied to him. And no one knew it for 3 years. Not the media, not the public. Just done. He owns estates in Scotland, historic lands in Italy, and hidden homes across Europe. And still, you won't find flashy signs or nameplates. He doesn't buy for fame. He buys for control. And here's the twist. He doesn't even need to build anything himself. His business ties reshape cities, roads, and skylines without lifting a shovel. All it takes is a signature and a vision. But this isn't just about more money. Not anymore. What drives him now is legacy. Because for someone who already has everything, gold, jets, palaces, the next chapter isn't about collecting more. It's about leaving something that lasts forever. When passion meets power, you don't just get billion-dollar dreams. You get blueprints that change nations. So the question is, what visions drive a man who already owns the world? The answer may surprise you. Let's dive into the final chapter. At this stage in life, most billionaires slow down. They retreat, enjoy what they've built, and watch the world pass by. But not him. This sheikh is just getting started. And this time, he's building the future. He's pouring billions into technology, clean energy, and global infrastructure. His fingerprints are on Expo City's expansion, a futuristic smart district. He's backing a $36 billion international airport that will become one of the largest on Earth. And he's leading massive investments in sustainability, with green energy projects stretching from the desert to the sea. But here's the twist. For all his gold, jets, and glory, what truly matters to him now is what he leaves behind. Legacy isn't just about buildings, it's about life. He privately funds elite horse racing leagues, centuries-old falconry competitions, and rare species conservation programs. Arabian horses bred under his care are considered national treasures, their bloodlines more protected than jewels. Most billionaires chase tech startups. But him? He's trying to preserve the soul of his heritage. He invests in the past as much as the future, ensuring that wild Arabian bloodlines, endangered birds, and ancient sports never disappear. He's building museums, cultural hubs, and eco-reserves. Not for profit, but for preservation. For pride. For the generations he'll never meet. And yet, despite all this, one question never goes away. How rich is he, really? It's a mystery, even to experts. His official wealth, not listed on any Forbes page. His companies, held through private trusts. But here's the clue. He owns more land, more planes, more infrastructure than many governments. When you compare his real estate, businesses, investments, and sovereign influence, some analysts quietly say he could be wealthier than any prince or king alive today. But he doesn't chase headlines, he chases impact. And that leads us to the final truth. What kind of power does a man like this truly hold? Stick around, because the answer will flip everything you thought you knew about global wealth. So now we reach the truth most people never see. When you factor in his hidden assets, worldwide land holdings, and the state influence he quietly controls, this sheikh may actually be richer than the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. Not just in dollars, but in real power. He's not flashing cash on social media. He doesn't need to. He doesn't just own things, he shapes nations. Airports, oil pipelines, smart cities, heritage sites, they move under his direction. Even the economy of his country rises and falls based on his vision. He has power over countries, over culture, over future technology. That's not just wealth, that's something far deeper. Influence that stretches across borders and generations. And here's the twist that will stay with you. While others collect supercars and watches, he collects legacies. He builds cities. He revives ancient traditions. He protects bloodlines that go back 1,000 years. His passion isn't just luxury, it's lasting meaning. He knows that fame fades, but legacy lives on. That's why his projects don't just focus on today, they're designed to outlive him, to become part of history. And suddenly, the question we started with makes sense. Who's richer than a prince? Now we know. It's the sheikh behind the gold, the glass towers, and the global game board. But here's the real question. It's no longer, how rich is he? It's, what's he planning next? Because a man with this much quiet control, vision, and reach, he's not just building empires, he's shaping the future. And by the time the world catches up, he'll already be 3 moves ahead. What you've just seen isn't just a story about wealth, it's a living, breathing vision of power, pride, and purpose. This sheikh doesn't just live in luxury, he uses it to shape the world around him. Every golden chair, every private jet, every billion-dollar project has meaning. It's not just about showing off, it's about leaving something behind that lasts forever. From $2 million worth of strawberries to palaces with their own zoos, every detail of his life speaks to a mindset few people ever understand. Legacy over lifestyle. His choices have built cities, protected rare animals, and turned the desert into one of the world's most powerful business hubs. He's not just rich, he's writing history with his wallet. So if this story blew your mind, smash that like button, subscribe for more eye-opening stories about secret wealth, global influence, and lives beyond imagination. And now, we want to hear from you. What shocked you the most? Was it the $2 million strawberries? The palace with a private zoo? Or the fact that this man might be richer than a prince and we barely hear his name? Drop your answer in the comments. We read everyone. And remember, sometimes the most powerful people are the quietest ones.